Hello and welcome to the Astro Vibe of the week. Filming this on September 9th. So this is for the week of September 9th. What is really coming through for me right now on a collective level is the intense energy of Mars. So on September 4th, last week, Mars went into the sign of Cancer. And it's really important to talk about it. It's really important to understand this energy on a deeper level because I'm seeing a lot of negativity around it. I'm seeing people sharing about how this is a passive aggressive transit and it could cause negativity and all of those like negative energies. And we know because you're watching this video, so I know that you're on the evolutionary track and that you're interested in growth and interested in becoming your best self and clearing your old programs, those beliefs that are not serving you, and stepping into your most aligned, abundant, loving, and joyful self. So that's really not even a message for us, though we can consider it with humans around us that may not be on that same journey that we're on. So Mars is the planet of action. It is the masculine energy. It's also known as the planet of war. And so with Mars, there is it can be aggression, it can be anger, it can be frustration. Remember, Mars is always in the sky. So we always have access to these things like in our normal lives. It's not a rare thing. We're human, so we get frustrated, right? But Mars in Cancer is said to be at its fall. Mars does not like being in the zodiac sign of Cancer because Cancer is not so much about pushing forward and winning and being, ahead of the pack. Mars wants to go very fast normally, and it wants to take action. Now, Cancer is the fourth sign of the zodiac wheel. It is a water element, and it has more to do with being, feeling, knowing that we are safe, that we are unconditionally loved, and learning how to care for ourselves on a really deep level. So what's really happening is that the energy of Mars is just going into a different focus. So instead of fighting, instead of being a warrior for a cause, this energy becomes a warrior of self-care, a warrior of connecting to our emotions. Remember, Cancer is a water sign. So we're talking about the water element. And when we talk about the water element, we're talking about what's underneath this surface, our emotions, how we feel. How we feel comes to the forefront of our awareness. And we might want to spend a little or a lot more time nurturing ourselves and caring for ourselves on an elevated level. Cancer is also a sign of intuition, as is all the other water signs, Scorpio, Pisces. We're talking about going into our inner world and connecting with what we feel. So part of that is intuition. And we have a long time to explore this energy because Mars will be in Cancer for 2 months. Then it is going to retrograde. It's going to go back into Gemini, the sign of the mind, thinking. Then it's going to go back into Cancer and it will stay there through April of 2025. So we're in this energy for a while and we want to take advantage of it and use it to its highest potential instead of being frustrated or mad that Mars, the sign of action, is now in water and it's a little harder to take action. So let me explain how it really wants to work and flow. This is a sign where if you tune into your body's needs, if you tune into rest, if you tune into how your body wants to be nurtured, you will reap beautiful rewards. So if you've fallen off track of having a routine or a ritual in your life that makes you feel grounded and peaceful in your body, now is the time to get back into that. On a personal note, I love to do these Kundalini yoga sets, and I do the same exact one for 40 days in a row. Because if you do the same thing over a period of time, you get to understand how it's really working and how it's really benefiting for you. So if there is something that you could add that is for your care, maybe it's a 5-minute meditation when you wake up in the morning. Maybe it's drinking lemon water in the morning to detox you in a gentle way. Maybe it's snuggling up with a book for 20 minutes or 30 minutes at night and peeling yourself away from Netflix or whatever it is that you might find yourself doing at night that isn't in the most benefit for your healing and your health and your wealth. So this is a time where we want to really care for ourselves. Your heart becomes the focus. Your heart and how you care for and nurture your heart becomes the priority right now. Listening to your intuition and exploring what that means also becomes one of the priorities. That might mean that you take up something like journaling, because when you write, especially if you're doing automatic writing, you get to access your subconscious from a totally different lens. And you get to become more of the creator of your life instead of being taken by your emotions. Maybe you grab your pen, which I like to call your magic wand, and write down. And you write down what is coming through you. This is the magic of the sign of Cancer. It does very well in the silence and comfort and quiet of self-reflection and of caring for oneself. And the best way to care for yourself is to carve out time and space that is just for you. Cancer is also the caretaker, one of the caretakers of the zodiac wheel. It's the nurturing energy, it's the mother. And so we also want to reflect on how we might give to others. And it's beautiful to give to others. It's beautiful to help and heal others. And it's more important to make sure that you are doing that for yourself, that you are caring for yourself. I know I'm like beating the same drum over and over and over again. Care for yourself, Mars in Cancer. I just really want to hone in on this because it's so misunderstood. So instead of putting other people in front of you, start with you. Fill your cup. What actions can you take this week to fill your cup? What actions can you take this week and into the next 2 months where you can nurture yourself and make sure that you feel energetically supported? You might be feeling tired, more tired with Mars in Cancer, because Cancer wants to rest. It knows how to go into its hermit crab shell, snuggle up with a cozy, comfy blanket and its favorite snack, and rejuvenate its energy. So this is about rejuvenation of your energy, which is interesting in the month of September because the energy has seemed to speed up. As we go into fall, we have new responsibilities. We have new expectations of ourselves. And it makes it even more crucial that we lean into how we care for ourselves instead of getting spread super thin, which we all know happens in the fall. We get spread thin when things are added onto our plate. So what can you move to the side, set for a later date? How can you recalibrate your energy now? This is what it is all about. I pulled a tarot card for this Mars in Cancer, and I got the 6 of Cups. Now, this is perfect because Cancer also rules the mother. And the 6 of Cups shows 2 children and 6 cups filled with white flowers, and 2 children are holding 1 cup. And this is our nostalgic connections, your childhood, and revisiting your childhood from a new lens. This is a good time to ask yourself if you have lost connection to those things that brought you joy when you were 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe it was coloring, maybe it was singing, maybe it was pretending to make a pie out of dirt. Maybe it was playing with animals, whatever it is. There's a reconnection to our childhood right now with Mars and Cancer, and an opportunity to see it from a new light. This is a really profound week to do healing work, childhood healing, healing the wounds that came through when you were young and revisiting them from this new level of growth where you're at now, from this new perception. This is a good time for reparenting, where you're able to give yourself what wasn't given to you, what you felt was lacking in your childhood, that care, that support, acceptance of your emotions. That's another Cancerian word, emotions and acceptance. Because many of us were taught to stuff our emotions down. Many of us were not allotted the freedom to have emotional expression. So this Cancer and Mars is going to help us reconnect to that emotional expression, healing from wounds that came through in childhood. And it might just happen naturally. You might just have a realization that comes through. You might be able to see things differently. This is a really powerful time to let go, to practice forgiveness. Maybe there's a grudge you've been holding on to for a long time. Cancers love a good grudge. They love to hold on because they are deeply sensitive. They are deeply impacted by the world. And so if something or someone hurts them, they're going to feel it. They're going to hold on to it for a long, 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 long time. And maybe you've heard the quote, holding on to resentment and holding on to anger is like drinking poison from a cup and expecting your enemy to fall down dead. So we can revisit how resentment or how holding on to grudges or holding on to past hurts is poisoning us and impacting us and affecting us, and start to do more of the healing work that's here for us. As we do this healing work, we find that we have more energy, we have more bandwidth emotionally, we have more space to just be ourselves. Now I pulled a couple more cards, Page of Wands, the Empress, and the Two of Coins, and these are all reversed. Another childhood card, the Page of Wands, a young girl in a ballerina dress holding a wand. When you are a child, even if there's wounding in your childhood, being a child gives us, our brains work differently. Like there's a totally different brain chemistry going on when you are ages 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, totally different way that the brain is working. It's much more in absorbing information. It's in that different brain wave state where it is like a sponge, and there is also more believability during this time. So when you were young, there was this energy of possibility, this energy of, I can hold this stick and it can be a wand. I can hold this dirt and it can be a pie. It's this imaginative quality. And Cancer energy is so potent in the realms of imagination, in the realms of manifesting. So if you want to get the most bang for your buck with Mars in Cancer for these extended period of time, 2 months, then retrograde, then all the way to April 2025, lean into that part of you that believes in the possibility of creating what isn't here right now, that can imagine and envision what it is that you're desiring. It turns the knob up on your ability to manifest. And a lot of people are getting that wrong. A lot of people do not understand that. Mars in Cancer is divine manifestation frequency because it allows us to connect with our intuition, our inner vision, our inner knowing, and our imagination. And those are key components of creation. As long as we're not holding on to the past. The more we hold on to the past, the less space there is to bring in the new, to bring in those unknown magical things that the Page of Wands is asking us to lean into. Thus why it came in reversed. We're being called to open ourselves up to the possibility of magic and put ourselves in environments where it feels more magical. To me, that's nature, or like going to an ecstatic dance, going on a retreat. I'm so excited. Our Magic and Soul retreat is on the 13th. So it's like amazing. Feminine energy, magical energy. The Empress card also came in reversed, asking us to pay more attention to our divine Empress quality. The Empress is wrapped in a gorgeous blanket, like a gorgeous quilt. She is standing in water. She is connected to her inner knowing and her ability to know that she is a creator. The Empress is the vibe of fertility. And I'm not necessarily saying like get pregnant kind of fertility. It's the fertile soil where you can plant the seeds that will grow. She is whole in herself. She feels secure in herself. She feels confident in herself. She trusts herself. She knows what's possible. She knows that she is capable. She knows that she is capable. And this is the energy we want to call in. Remembering that we are capable, that we have the ability through our resourcefulness, through our imagination, through our trust in the universe and divine timing. So this is a card that tells us to do the things, remember to lean in to our inner confidence and our inner faith and that trust that we can have, that we're exactly where we're meant to be right now. We are right on path, but we have to turn these reversal cards upside down. So if you're feeling at all in any way that you are off path, or that you are exhausted, or you feel brittle, the Empress is not brittle. She feels nourished. She feels full of life, full of energy. She is hydrated. She's been eating delicious food. She's been resting. Whatever it is you need to do to get yourself in this vibration. Because without that, we get the Two of Coins, being pulled in two different directions, lacking energy, feeling tired, feeling like we need to withdraw, feeling exhausted. This is where we're going unless we're able to prioritize our needs, to put ourselves first, to do the healing that wants to happen right now. Maybe it means, connecting to the water element in a new way, letting the tears flow, crying, journaling, taking a nice warm bath, drinking tea, always to connect with the water element. Because we don't want to be here where we feel like we're drowning in life, like there's too much stuff to do. We're burning the candle at both ends. This is someone fully submerged in the ocean. Their hand is reaching up and they're holding two coins. They've been working too hard. They've been doing too much. They're burnt out. They're exhausted. This is a call to reset the energy. So this is all about, we're going to feel more sensitive. And I can't speak for everyone, right? We all have different charts. You want to look at the Cancer house in your chart, see what signs you have in it. But it's really important to understand that this is a collective vibration. We all become a little more sensitive. And that's why you hear other astrologers talking about passive aggressiveness. We're not there. We're learning to communicate and share how we feel, to open up our throat, to open up that throat chakra and allow ourselves to heal through communication, through sharing, through speaking, through taking the steps that are going to make sure that we're really taking care of ourselves, going to bed at the right time for us, waking up at the right time, really caring for ourselves in a sacred way, especially in the morning and especially at night, because that's what sets us up, for the next day. Now, the next thing I want to share before I end is we're in eclipse season and we're heading towards a full moon in Pisces. This is really supportive energy in terms of the water element. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac wheel. So we're talking about deep healing, deep clearing. Mars in Cancer is supportive of that energy. This is a trine energy, two harmonious vibrations coming together in the same element, Mars and the moon. That could also make us intensely sensitive, intensely emotional, really feeling our feels. So this week, into the weekend and into the next week, the full moon's on Wednesday. Note how you feel. Note that the tides are rising, and rising in an eclipse season is like a full moon on crack. It's like a full moon times 1,000. So you want to prioritize our needs, prioritize our self-care. And I don't want to hear next week, oh, I didn't do it. I went to bed late. I feel like shit. No. Set yourself up for success this week. So when we get to that full moon in Pisces, it will be this beautiful release of energy, this beautiful emptying of the cup so that we have the space to bring in something new. Thank you so much for watching this, especially if you watched all the way to the end. I hope you have a beautiful week. Take care of yourself. I love you, and I will see you soon.